How you doing, folks? Today I'm accompanied by infamous DEA agent Lee Harvey. Thank you for having me.
Sure.
So I got 7 questions for you.
Okay.
All right. So can you tell me about yourself?
Yeah, my name is Lee Harvey. I've been with the DEA for about 2 years now. And right before that, I was an active Marine for about 6 months until my honorable discharge due to my injury, foot injury.
Okay. Starting out, were you intimidated by higher-ranking officers and other students?
Oh yeah, initially, I was scared because I was brought up, really young, going in there, and there's always that aspect of competition, and I was just surrounded by these guys that knew so much more than me, but like I said before, like I was trained in the military for about 6 months, so really the competition wasn't like new to me, always being intimidated by these guys that know more than you, they're stronger than you, anything like that, more experienced than you.
Yeah, of course. So, how hard is the academy?
Well, like I said before in the last question, it's kind of on the same level as training for the Marines, but as a DEA agent, I didn't find it that hard to train. Not only because I had the military experience, but also because that was something I was very interested in. That was I had a lot of will, and we'll get into that later.
Of course.
I had a lot of will, and whenever you put yourself in those kind of hardships, and your end goal is for something that you like, I find it's going to be very easy for you to go through that kind of training if that's really what you enjoy doing.
Of course. So, if you could change your career right now, would you?
Right now, I'm pretty content, but I will say, working in the field for about 2 years, it really takes its toll. I would say maybe a more white-collar oriented job, like maybe a detective for the DEA. That just seems a lot more sustainable to me because, it really wears your body down after all that time. And having something like more of a desk job sort of oriented, but still having that aspect of law enforcement, that would be something I'd be, pretty interested in.
Of course. So, of course, working for the government, being an officer is beneficial, right?
Yeah, free healthcare, free dental, everything. Yeah.
Of course. Just wanted to get that out there. So, can you name a situation where it was life or death?
Where do I start, man?
You got a lot?
Yeah. Gosh. So there's this one that always comes back to me for some reason. So we were working a case out in El Paso, Texas, and we were on our way to the scene, and of course we got our blacked out Suburbans, undercover, not really, noticeable at all. But then again, it's pretty noticeable when you got 4 blacked out Suburbans just riding down the road. And we were hauling butt, man. We were going pretty fast, and because we had to get there. And mind you, I was sitting in the back seat, and these windows, they're so tinted. I think in the front it's like 2% tint, and in the back it's like 0. You can't see anything out of it. But I was in the back seat, and we were on our way to the scene, and all of a sudden we come to a screeching halt. Gunshots firing, glass shatters, glass breaks. The truck flips, and I couldn't see what was going on because it was just so dark. So I thought we were going down a cliff. But we ended up once we stopped rolling, we got out of the car and they were gone. But we eventually found out that it was the cartel because they were trying to sabotage us from going to the actual scene, I was actually got out very lucky that time because most of the time, like 99% of the time, they don't come out of those kind of situations, and it typically ends in death. And we were lucky enough for them to just stop us right there.
You're lucky, man.
Yeah.
So what would you recommend to the boys who want to go in this career?
The one thing I say, and I said I'll go back to it again, but will. If you have the will, that is the most important thing. But I will say this, if you're going into this kind of job, whether it be you can be DEA agent, you can be police officer, firefighter, whatever, cool, great. If you're going in with no fear, you go in not being scared of a single thing. Jack, I tell you, it's not for you, man. If you're going in there with no fear at all, that's what gets you killed. That's what gets your friends killed. Having that aspect of fear is what will save your life, Jack. And if you really like doing this, it would be kind of hard to fear those kind of things because you're just so excited, you're so, looking forward to this kind of job.
Of course.
But you gotta have that fear. That's the most important thing that I found.
All right, that's all I got for you. Thank you.
All right, thank you, man.